Hello everybody and welcome to another video. Well, it's been a long time. Well, not really a long time, but it's been a while since we've done a Senate prediction, mainly because of all this news that's been going on with Biden dropping out and stuff. But there has been some sort of news about the Senate predictions. And first we'll just go over the news and then we'll head over to the predictions. So, Bob Menendez, the senator from New Jersey, he was found guilty for corruption and bribery and all of that stuff a couple weeks ago, and he will resign from the Senate. He will resign in late August. That will turn into effect. And then the governor of New Jersey, Phil Murphy, a Democrat, he'll most likely choose another Democrat to replace him for the rest of his term. And then in November, Andy Kim is most likely to win that Senate seat. This also means that he will not run his independent campaign in the November Senate race as well. Now let's go to a fundraising, the cash, where all of these states are. So the blue dot is how much money Democrats have put into a race, and the red dot is where Republicans have put in, how much money Republicans have put into the race. And usually Democrats do out fundraise Republicans. But Republicans still manage to pull off some wins in close Senate races. So one of the most competitive ones, Arizona, the Democrats have put 10.48 million, while the Republicans have only put 4.32 million there. That is Carrie Lake versus Ruben Gallego. Carrie Lake, I don't think I do not think that she has that good of a chance. Mainly because in the 2022 governor's race in Arizona, she kind of lost a lot of voters. Some label her as a white nationalist, and I feel like she's not popular among moderates. Now let's head to a less competitive race, the state of Florida. Republicans out fundraised Democrats here. I don't really see a reason because I feel like Republicans have already locked down a win in Florida. They've put $8.38 million here, while they could have put money into maybe Michigan or Nevada or Ohio. But then we have probably one of the least competitive Senate races, Maryland. Maryland is most likely to go to Democrat Angela Alsobrooks. It's pretty evenly fundraised here. 5.31 million for the Democrats, 5.1 for the Republicans. Michigan is pretty competitive, but Democrats destroyed Republicans in fundraising here. Liz Slotkin has fundraised 6.47 million, while Republicans have only fundraised 2.08 million. Now let's go to Montana, which I'd say is probably the third or second most competitive Senate race in the country. And Democrats, so they have put so much money into this race, and I still don't think they're gonna win it. They have $10.58 million. I don't think incumbent John Tester will be able to pull through. I think this is the year where he finally loses. $5.29 million by the Republicans for Tim Sheehy. Nevada, I feel like, is the third or second most competitive Senate race. Democrats put $7.6 million for Jackie Rosen, the incumbent, while Sam Brown has raised $4.09 million. Ohio, I think, is honestly the most competitive Senate race in the country, and Sherrod Brown has massively out fundraised his opponent, Bernie Moreno, basically 3-1. But I still think that it's going to be extremely competitive and might actually go to the Republicans. Now let's go to Pennsylvania. Both of these have massively fundraised. This is the Republicans' most fundraised race in the country, and it's also the Democrats' most fundraised race in the country. Pennsylvania, I don't really think it's that competitive. I honestly think that Bob Casey kind of locked it down, although anything can change at this point. Texas, it's kind of competitive. It's Colin Allred versus Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz is actually surprisingly underperforming Donald Trump in polls. I don't know. I mean, I guess I kind of know what made him kind of more unpopular, but kind of surprising. that for a Republican incumbent in a deep red state, only like up by 3 or 4 points. And the final one is Wisconsin. Incumbent Tammy Baldwin has raised 7.52 million, and the Republicans, Eric Hovde raised 7.28 million. Pretty evenly fundraised here. So now let's head to polls. Actually, no, we'll head to the we'll first do all the non-competitive Senate races. I have these states as safe and likely. So I have Washington, New Mexico likely, all of these other states safe. I feel like Kamala Harris does actually somewhat improve the Democrats in these Senate races. So these are all the safe and likely states. Actually, I'm also going to throw Florida and Texas into likely. Republicans already have a 51-43 majority. But all of these states, I think. Oh wait, sorry, not Montana. Montana we'll do later. So right now, 50-43 for Republicans, and I think we'll just start off with polls. We'll go from Pennsylvania to Nevada. So the latest poll shows Bob Casey up by 4% in his Senate race. So I actually have it around that, lean Democrat. Now let's go to the Ohio Senate race. Ohio, I think, is going to be the most competitive one. The last Ohio Senate race was a poll was a while ago. It had Brown up by 6, which is massive. But I think it's actually going to go to Marino by a tilt margin, because I feel like Brown is actually overestimated in these polls, and polls can't really be trusted anyway. But now let's go to Michigan. The last Michigan poll, there's been a couple. Slotkin was up by 4, and then in the previous one, Slotkin was up by 6. So I have it going lean Democrat. For Wisconsin, the last poll had Baldwin up by 6, and the previous one had Baldwin up by 8, which I also have it lean. I feel like Democrats have kind of secured all the races in the blue wall. Now let's go to Arizona. The last Arizona poll had Gallego up by 4. The previous one had Gallego up by 3, which I think Arizona is going to be extremely competitive, which is why I have it as tilt. Now let's go to Nevada. The previous Nevada poll had Rosen up by only 3. I feel like the Sun Belt will be the most competitive Senate area besides Montana and Ohio. So I also have Nevada going tilt Democrat, although I feel like Republicans could very well flip these 2 seats. Now let's go to the final race, which is Montana. The last poll for the Montana Senate race, let me see if I can find it, had Sheehy up by 5. So this is why I really think Montana has a really good chance of flipping, which is why I have it lean Republican. I hope you enjoyed this 2024 U.S. Senate analysis. I'll probably do another one in the middle of August, maybe the beginning of August. But thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.